A 981 millibar low-pressure system is forming right now, and it's about to unleash something we haven't seen all December. A rare December heatwave, powerful winter storms, blizzard conditions, severe weather, all from one massive system. And here's what makes this different. The temperature gradient is so sharp, so extreme, that one state could be setting heat records while the state next door faces whiteout conditions. In the next 2 minutes, I'm going to show you why this storm is unlike anything we've dealt with this month. At the 5-minute mark, you'll learn about the 70 to 75 mile per hour winds coming Thursday. And at the 8-minute mark, I'll reveal what's happening on Christmas Day. But first, let me show you what's happening right now, because this sets up everything that follows. The Pacific Northwest is getting absolutely hammered. Heavy rain at lower elevations, heavy mountain snow at higher elevations, rivers reaching record levels. This isn't new for Washington and Oregon. You see atmospheric rivers often, but this one is different. This one is persistent, and this one is setting up the next major event. As Nahum chapter 1 verse 3 says, "The Lord is slow to anger but great in power. The Lord will not leave the guilty unpunished. His way is in the whirlwind and the storm, and clouds are the dust of his feet." We're witnessing that power right now. The whirlwind, the storm, the awesome force of creation. Our Jetstream right now is very strong across the Pacific Northwest. It's ripping lots of moisture out of the Pacific Ocean, leading to significant flooding in Washington, Oregon, Northern California, and a lot of mountainous snow. This continues most likely through Christmas. This is a very dangerous event. And some of that moisture, it's about to come over the Rockies. Late Wednesday and Thursday, that energy moves east, and that creates our next large storm. This will impact millions across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Southeast, and East Coast. It begins late Wednesday night. A pretty intense low-pressure system makes its way across the northern plains, 981 millibars. That's a strong storm. Thursday is the big day. A lot of different things happening. Snow leading to blizzard conditions in the upper Midwest and northern plains. Rain could actually fall in Chicago and southern Wisconsin, and this pulls out a ton of warm, moist air from the Gulf. We're going to see a rapid temperature increase across the Midwest and Ohio Valley. A lot of snow melts Thursday, and we could even see severe weather in the Ohio Valley. Wind threat being the main concern, but maybe an isolated brief tornado not off the table. Let me ask you a critical question. How do you prepare when one storm brings 5 different threats? Because that's what we're dealing with. Blizzards in one area, heat in another, severe weather in a third, flooding in a fourth, rapid snowmelt in a fifth. By Friday and Saturday, that dip in the jet stream behind it brings more Arctic air, mainly to the upper Midwest. But we'll definitely feel that cold front across the Ohio Valley and Northeast. Temperatures drop right below freezing again. By next weekend, our jet stream becomes very zonal, but any moisture that comes out of the Pacific and moves over the Rockies could cause further problems for the northern tier right before the busy Christmas holiday. Something to keep an eye on. Once we get closer to Christmas, things get more uncertain, but we'll have a preview in just a moment. Don't miss what I'm about to show you at the 8-minute mark about Christmas, because the forecast just cleared up significantly. Now we have a lot to talk about. Heavy rainfall leading to flooding, snow, and the big temperature swing. Let's begin with future radar. Right now, a lot of rain falling across the Pacific Northwest. Washington and Oregon, where it ramps up a lot this afternoon, some of the heaviest rainfall expected across western Washington, including Seattle, southwestern Oregon, northern California. By late tonight and early tomorrow, that rain and snow continue. Some of that energy starts making its way over the Rockies Wednesday morning. Notice how a low-pressure system develops at 981 millibars. A pretty strong storm system makes its way across the Northwest. This eventually moves into the northern plains late Wednesday. This becomes our next large storm, bringing risk of snowfall. Right now, it appears that snow mostly stays to the extreme northern side of the United States. North Dakota, Montana, Wisconsin, Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Minnesota. Early Thursday, this storm system spreads snowfall a little further south on the backside of the low-pressure system. Very strong winds all around this low-pressure system, especially on the north and west side. That means blizzard conditions are on the table. Even if we don't pick up over 12 inches of snow in some areas, blizzard conditions are possible because of the snow already on the ground. This doesn't just include northern Minnesota and North Dakota. If we see snow on the ground, still in Iowa, for example, while this low-pressure system passes, we could have near-blizzard conditions during the daytime Thursday. Definitely a possibility for some of you. As Psalm 107 verse 25 says, "For he spoke and stirred up a tempest that lifted high the waves." We're seeing that tempest stirred up, the waves lifted high, both in the atmospheric river and in this massive storm system. Late Thursday, we're watching for very heavy rainfall and even thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley. There is potential for severe weather Thursday. The biggest concern is located mainly in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, perhaps very far northern Mississippi, and Alabama for an isolated wind threat. That's the biggest concern. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour are on the table. I don't think a tornado can be ruled out at this point. I just don't think the environment is that favorable for tornadoes. We're not going to have enough moisture pull from the Gulf for there to be a legit tornado risk, but definitely can't rule out a spin-up tornado or two. Late Thursday, snow continues across the upper peninsula of Michigan all the way through Canada. We also continue to see the Pacific Northwest get slammed by a massive atmospheric river event. Heavy rain and snow ramp up again Thursday night. By Friday, this big storm mainly impacts the Northeast where heavy rain continues. We'll have a little more snow late Friday in the northern plains, but nothing like a winter storm. By Saturday and Sunday, very quiet weather east of the Rockies right before Christmas. Great news! Back along the West Coast, we just continue to see a ton of rain and a ton of snow. Very active stretch to start off December across the Pacific Northwest. One area struggling, the Sierra Nevada. Very low amount of snow fallen so far this winter. That's actually something we predicted in our winter forecast. We thought this area would be lacking in snow and rain. So far, it has. And it doesn't look like that's changing. Right around Christmas, this is an early preview of what our radar could look like Christmas Day. Again, it's still over 9 days from now. Things will definitely change. But right now, I don't see any major problems. Yes, there could be a snowstorm. Yes, there could be rain along the West Coast. Yes, it's probably going to be warm too. But as of right now, I'm not seeing any major problems. Let's knock on wood though, things can still technically change. Now let me talk about the winds from this large storm system later this week, Wednesday into Thursday. Winds pick up quite a bit across the Great Plains and Midwest. Wind gusts upwards of 70 to 75 miles per hour over the Dakotas Thursday morning. 70 to 75. That's hurricane-force winds over land in December. Any snow on the ground is going to be blowing all over the place. Late Thursday, those winds expand further east. Widespread wind gusts around 40 to 60 miles per hour. That's anywhere from Oklahoma all the way to Minnesota. Any remaining snow on the ground will cause problems across southwest Minnesota, eastern Nebraska, western Iowa. Late Thursday and Friday, winds start to calm down in those areas but remain strong in the Ohio Valley. By the weekend, winds pick up again, but not nearly as intense. Blizzard-like conditions are a possibility Thursday. Keep that in mind if you're traveling anywhere in the United States. As Job chapter 37 verse 9 says, "The tempest comes out from its chamber, the cold from the driving winds." That's exactly what we're seeing. The tempest, the driving winds, the cold following behind. In terms of total snowfall accumulation, the GFS model shows what would be a pretty significant winter weather event if it happened. But I think we'll see a more realistic expectation of around 3 to 7 inches of snow for most of these areas. We may see a swath of around a foot of snow, but it's too early to tell if that's going to happen. This low-pressure system is definitely hard to predict. If you're in northern Minnesota or North Dakota, definitely be ready, especially near Fargo and Grand Forks. Generally speaking, though, totals won't be nearly as high as what this model shows. Back in the Pacific Northwest, we're talking about a threat of major flooding, but there's even a risk of severe weather today. Washington, Oregon, Northern California, isolated risk of damaging winds. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar as we go into Thursday and early Friday as the next wave of that atmospheric river comes. We're not just talking about flooding rainfall potential. There could be high winds that knock down trees and power lines. In terms of total rainfall in the Pacific Northwest, we're expecting widespread 3 to 7 inches of rain across much of western Oregon, Washington, Northern California. This is only over the next 48 hours. If we go beyond this all the way through December 22nd or so, the totals get even more absurd. We're just going to see so many waves of this rain over the next 7 to 10 days. We could easily have in higher elevations upwards of 6 to 12 inches of rainfall. In lower elevations near Seattle, for example, 3 to 7 inches would be more likely than not. A lot of rain is on the way. Make sure you're prepared. If you have friends or family that live there, spread the word. Here's what you need to do over the next 7 days. Today through Wednesday, if you're Pacific Northwest, prepare for continued atmospheric river, heavy rain, heavy mountain snow, monitor river levels. Have evacuation plans ready if you're in flood-prone areas. Wednesday night into Thursday, the major storm develops. If you're Northern Plains or Upper Midwest, prepare for blizzard conditions, not just from new snow, but from winds blowing existing snow. 70 to 75 mile per hour gusts in Dakotas, 40 to 60 miles per hour widespread. Travel Thursday in Northern Tier is extremely dangerous. If you don't have to travel, don't. If you must, be prepared for whiteout conditions, road closures, multi-hour delays. Thursday for Ohio Valley, severe weather possible. Damaging winds, main threat. Up to 60 miles per hour. Monitor weather alerts. Have ways to take shelter if needed. Thursday for Midwest generally, rapid temperature increase. Snow melts fast. Watch for flooding from rapid melt. Basements could flood, streets could flood. This isn't gradual melt over days. This is fast melt in hours. Friday and Saturday, cold front sweeps through. Temperatures drop below freezing. Any water that melted refreezes. Black ice becomes major hazard Friday night and Saturday morning. Weekend before Christmas, quiet weather east of Rockies. Good news for holiday preparations. West Coast continues active pattern with more rain and snow. Christmas Day early preview looks relatively quiet. No major storms forecast currently, but this is 9 days out. Check back daily as forecast evolves. For the Pacific Northwest, this isn't just a one-day event. This is waves of atmospheric rivers through Christmas. You're looking at 7 to 10 days of persistent heavy rain and mountain snow. Total rainfall accumulations through December 22nd could exceed 12 inches in some locations. That's a foot of rain in 10 days. Rivers already at record levels will only go higher. Flooding will worsen. Landslides become more likely with saturated soil. If authorities issue evacuation orders, follow them immediately. Don't wait. Don't try to ride it out. For the Northern Plains and Upper Midwest, this Thursday storm is the real deal. 981 millibar low, hurricane-force wind gusts, blizzard conditions. Even if snow totals aren't extreme, the winds make this dangerous. Existing snow gets blown around. Visibility drops to near zero. Travel becomes impossible. Stock up on supplies now. Don't wait until Wednesday. Have food, water, batteries, flashlights. Ways to heat if power goes out. Check on elderly neighbors. Make sure they're prepared. Make sure someone will check on them during the storm. For the Ohio Valley, this rapid warm-up followed by cold front creates its own challenges. Infrastructure stressed by rapid temperature change, flooding from snowmelt, then refreezing. Be ready for all of it. As Proverbs chapter 30 verse 4 asks, "Who has gone up to heaven and come down? Whose hands have gathered up the wind? Who has wrapped up the waters in a cloak? Who has established all the ends of the earth?" We don't control these forces. God does. We simply prepare and trust. The next 7 days bring multiple major weather events. Atmospheric rivers, blizzard conditions, severe weather, rapid temperature swings. Each threat requires different preparation. Each area faces different challenges. But we can get through this. Informed, prepared, looking out for each other. In tomorrow's forecast, I'm going to dive deeper into that Thursday timing, the exact hours the storm hits each area, the wind speeds, the snowfall rates, the severe weather timing, and I'll have updates on Christmas as models continue to refine the forecast. A large storm is coming. Unlike anything we've seen this December, multiple threats, multiple areas, multiple days. But we're ready. We see it coming, we prepare. Stay safe. Stay weather aware, and may God watch over you through every storm. Until tomorrow.